Today, how do you get people to like you at an unconscious level? How do you create that feeling of connection? So today I am going to be talking to you about how we create rapid rapport. First of all, I want to welcome you to another episode of Unconscious Communication Secrets. Wait for it. There we go. Unconscious Communication Secrets with myself, Munir. We are live. If you are tuning in, please say hello. Today, I'm going to be talking to you about how we can create rapid rapport, how to get people to like you very, very quickly and create that awesome feeling of rapport. So I'll give you a very quick analogy, okay? And it's a little bit like, and this comes from my friend Dave Crane. He talks about this. It's like if you go into any room, you want to tap into the Wi-Fi code of the room. You take your phone and you're like, hey, what's the password so that I can get on the Wi-Fi, right? And rapport, I believe, is the Wi-Fi, is like that code, that Wi-Fi code, so that you can tap into a person to get them to like you and feel like they trust you and know you. And here's the crazy thing. We all do this. Like when I talk about this, you'll see that it's something that we already naturally do when we are connected to someone. We don't think about it. We just naturally do it when we're connected to someone. The techniques that I'm going to be sharing with you. And this has sort of been reverse engineered so that you can do it yourself. So now why should you do it, right? Like, why is this so important? This is so important because if you think about it, people will always tend to like to do business with you or hire you or etc. if they like you, right? You will get further faster in your life if people like you. And here's the thing, you'll get better results if people like you. And if there's competition between you and somebody else, whether it's for a job or for doing business or anything like that, if people like you, they're more likely to do business with you. Now, even so, what happens if the person that you're competing against is better than you? People will still do business with you if they like you. And that's why this is so important. I mean, who would you choose, right? Imagine you have a small issue, right? You have a small issue and you can call a friend over who's so at this issue, or you have someone at work that you don't really like, but you know that they're very good at this thing. Now it's a small issue. Who would you choose, right? Who would you pick? And the reality is you're going to pick your friend, because at the end of the day they'll get it done. But even though the other person may be better at it, you will pick your friend because you like them, you want to spend time with them. And so rapport is hugely important in this field. So first of all, quick shout out. Hey Miwa, great to see you. Thanks for always tuning in. I really appreciate you, Miwa. It's always great to see you, and I thank you for tuning in again. What's up? All right, so how can you create, so this is the question then, okay? How can you create rapport at an unconscious level? So here's what most people try and do is, when they get into a conversation, especially with someone new, you think, okay, how can I get this person to like me? And we use questions. Why do we use questions? Because questions uncover uncover different things, and we are using questions to find something in common with the other person. So we ask questions so that we can see if we can find something in common with the other person. But here's the challenge. If you've seen some of my other videos, I talk about this a lot. Unconscious communication. The challenge is words only account for 7% of communication. The 93% is nonverbal. So if we're only relying on questions in order to figure out a person, in order to find something in common, we are limiting ourselves. So how do you create rapport at an unconscious level? And here I'll tell you. So when I was living in the UK, my first job, I used to do door-to-door sales, right? I used to go and doing door-to-door sales, and I was promoting a company called Talk, which is a car phone warehouse. It's a phone company. And when I was first learning how to sell these things, I learned my script, and I used to have to go and I used to have to go with my trainer, a guy named Richo, and he used to come with me to just check how I'm doing. And so we go to a few houses, and I'd like ring the bell, etc., try and talk to the person. And we went to this one house. So it's myself, Richo. Richo is like is from London, like amazing guy, such a warm heart. Love him to bits. He's in my life till today. He's contributed so much to my life. Anyhow, he's there. He's there with me, and we're standing there. I go and ring the bell at this house, and this person like comes to the door. And he's like, "Oh, hey, gents, how you doing? I just got home, just putting some of my shopping away, and I need to do quite a few things, and just wanted to know what's going on. How you guys doing?" And there's me, and I go, "Hi, sir. We are speaking to a few of your neighbors at the moment." Because I'm trying to, like in my head, I'm trying to remember all the words for my script, okay? And this guy had come out, and the way he was talking, he was like a motor mouth. He was just going at like 100 degrees at it, like 100 miles an hour every time he was saying something. And then I came, and I was like, hi, in my head, I'm trying to remember. "Hi, sir. We are speaking with all your neighbors at the moment, and we're promoting." And you could see the guy just like, getting really impatient. And initially he starts to like, okay. Can you go any faster? Because like I've got a few things to do, and I'm just wondering what's going on. And I'm going, yes, for sure. And then I start talking very slowly, and I could see his impatience start to grow, and then he just sort of goes, "Look, mate, I'm gonna have to make a move. I'm really sorry." And then Richo just taps me on my shoulder as if to say, "Let me handle this." And he just steps in and he goes, "Listen, mate, I know you're in a bit of a rush. I get it. Listen, we've just spoken to all your neighbors. It's a very quick deal. We're here representing Car Phone Warehouse. We will quickly. All we need to do is we want to take you off your current telephone provider. It's not going to cost you anything. We're going to save you money. All we need to do is just sign the paperwork, and we can get on our way." And the guy went, "Yeah, all right, let's do that. Yeah, come on in, and let's go for it." And so Richo took this event where I had nearly lost the sale and turned it around. So we went in, signed all the paperwork, and we walked out. And Richo he says to me, "Listen, Munir, you have to tune in to the behavior of the person. And if you don't tune in to the behaviors of the person, then and you don't adapt to their style, you're going to lose sales. This is going to cost you money." Jedediah, great to see you, man. Amazing. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you, bro. So he said to me, like, if you don't tune in to the needs of the person, to the way that they communicate, their style, what they need, not what you need, not what your preferred style is, what their preferred style is, you will lose out on sales. And I mean, it blew me away. I didn't even realize. And he said, "Look, that guy was a fast talker. That guy was a fast talker. you were speaking slowly. I get it. You're still learning the pitch and everything. However, you gotta speak, you gotta adapt to their style, otherwise you're gonna lose sales. And I was like, okay. I mean, it kind of blew me away. I didn't realize it. And so over the years, I started studying how to create this rapport. How do you create rapport and get people to feel like they like you, they trust you, that they want to know you more? And rapport was actually initially discovered by a gentleman called Dr. Milton Erickson. Now, Milton Erickson, he was a brilliant man. He was a psychologist and one of the greatest hypnotherapists that ever lived. Like all of hypnotherapy, a lot of hypnotherapy, a lot of hypnotic language is based on Dr. Milton Erickson's work. And what happened is that Milton Erickson, at one point in time, he had polio, and so he was restricted to a wheelchair, and he wasn't very mobile. And so he used to sit and he used to observe people a lot, and he noticed that when people were really connected, that they behaved very differently, that they used to mirror each other, that they were very similar. And he said, oh wow, this is interesting. He saw that people were very similar when they were very connected. And so he started to notice and document that people like people who are like themselves. And so he started to adapt this style, and when he started doing therapy. So like if someone came in and was sort of like gloomy and like, hey, Dr. Erickson, and then he would talk like that. He'll be like, hey, yes, I think I can help you. But then you might have someone that would come in and they'd be like, oh my God, hey, how's it going? And he would like, okay, then listen, we need to do that. And so he would adapt his style to different people, and he found that he'd get amazing results. So a lot of rapport initially comes from the work and the studies of Dr. Milton Erickson. So and it's taught a lot in NLP. Now, how do you create unconscious rapport? So auditory, right? When in the example that I gave you, auditory was like, how do you match someone's tone? How do you match their speed? How do you match their volume, their tempo, their etc.? So the first thing is, how do you match them auditorily? Okay. Hey MJ, great to see you, man. Appreciate you. Thanks for coming on. Thanks for tuning in. All right. So auditorily, how do you match them? Their tone, their pitch, their volume. So that's the first part. The next one is physiology. Now, how do you match someone's physiology? And by the way, this is so powerful that I'll use it when I do hypnosis as well. It is so powerful at an unconscious level. So you match a person's posture. You can at a much deeper level, you can match breathing rates. Like when people are so connected to a certain degree, they breathe at a similar rate. You can match their eye contact. You can match their proximity, how their space. So there's so much that you can do when it comes to physiology as well. So there's auditory, there's physiology, and then yes, you can match the verbal aspects as well. And on a verbal aspect, you can match people's terminology. What do I mean by terminology, right? If someone goes, oh my God, this thing was amazing. So like what happens is, like most people, they'll paraphrase it and they'll use words that they like. So so you said this thing was fantastic. No, they said it was amazing. Now, to you, amazing and fantastic may seem like the same exact word, but not to that person, right? They may use terminology for a specific reason. And so understanding people's terminology and starting to use that is very, very powerful, and can get you so far and make someone like, for some reason, they'll be like, man, this guy just gets me. This guy is just like, I don't know, I just feel connected to this person, and they won't know why versus someone else. And all it takes is just using similar terminology. If they say amazing, you say amazing. You know, if they say they use different phrases like, man, it was the bee's knees wax. I don't know, like, and you think that's the craziest like phrasing for cool that you've ever heard, but you want to get really connected at some point, and you'd be like, yeah, and this event is so cool. I mean, as you say, it's the bee's knees wax. And they'll be like, wow, that must be cool. You know, and you may feel strange, but remember, creating rapport is not about you, right? If you want to create rapport with someone, it's not about what you feel comfortable with, it's about how to make the other person feel comfortable. So, all right, so phrase that pays: when conversing, pay attention and tune in. Use observation for rapport and you'll win. Let me repeat that. When conversing, pay attention and tune in. Use observations for rapport and you'll win. All right, cool. So that's the video for today. Actually, if you want to know more about rapport and how to really take rapport building skills to that whole nother level, then definitely check out on Wednesday. I'm doing a introduction to NLP webinar. NLP is the science of all this. This is where you learn this at a deeper level. So you can go to uaenlp.com, and I'll be doing a webinar on Wednesday. It's a free webinar. You can just join in. So go to uaenlp.com. It's at 8 p.m. It is live. It's not a pre-recorded webinar. We can converse. You can ask questions, etc. So UAE, let me just put that up here. That's uaenlp.com. Cool. All right. So when conversing, pay attention and tune in. Use observations for rapport and you'll win. Thank you guys very much for tuning in. I appreciate you. Lots of love. I will see you on another video very soon. Peace out. See you soon.